Hey guys, it's Cece, and today I want to talk about a new series of videos that I'm going to be doing. I thought the scarf would be cute. It's actually too warm. It's kind of in the way right now, so I'm gonna take it off. So I'm going to be doing a new series of videos, and I came up with this idea a few months ago, and then it just never really happened, and I don't know why. I just kind of kept chickening out or not really wanting to do it for some reason, and I'm done doing that. I want to do this series of videos. It is something that I've been passionate about and something that I think people will enjoy, and if they don't, hey, we'll just let this slide and pretend it didn't happen. So I am going to be introducing a series of videos that I'm going to be calling HP Chats. And basically the premise of these videos is that I really like to talk about Harry Potter, and that kind of makes its way into all of my other videos, and I don't get enough time to really discuss Harry Potter, and I know. Been out for years, we've all discussed it to pieces, but I still love to talk about it, and I thought it would be fun to do these Harry Potter chats and just kind of talk about individual stuff that I have been talking about even in my own life with my own friends about Harry Potter, and just kind of bring in some new perspectives on Harry Potter and talk about it. If you guys have ideas for different kinds of discussions that you want me to do for Harry Potter, that would be great to leave in the comments. I might do those. I have a few ideas, and today I want to talk about houses. So yes, I'm going to be discussing houses today. It has become more of a big thing just suddenly recently with the introduction of the brand new Pottermore quiz. So a lot of us got sorted into our houses a lot of years ago, or we were never sorted and we just kind of identified with the house. But now this Pottermore quiz is back, and everybody is freaking out, and they're all taking the quiz again to see if they're still in the house that they were originally put in, or the house that they truly believe that they are a part of. A ton of the big booktubers have been doing videos and getting sorted and resorted, and that has been a whole thing. I've watched a few of them. They're all kind of funny because I know that I feel the same panic in regards to being resorted. I have always been a Ravenclaw, through and through. I knew I was a Ravenclaw, I fully believed it, and when I finally took the test a couple of years after I really, decided I was Ravenclaw, it confirmed. I am a Ravenclaw. So I really wasn't all that panicked when I went to retake the Pottermore quiz, and I was just kind of like, I've always been a Ravenclaw. But that was a lie. I was totally panicked. What if I didn't get Ravenclaw anymore? What did that mean about me? And when I took the quiz, I was sorted into Hufflepuff. And while I love Hufflepuffs, one of my closest friends is a Hufflepuff, my baby sister is a Hufflepuff, I don't identify with Hufflepuff. That is just not who I am. And I was kind of upset because I was like, I've always been a Ravenclaw through and through, and now I'm being told I'm a Hufflepuff. So, like most people, I was not the only one who retook the test. So many people retook the test. I follow you all on Twitter, so don't lie. When I retook the test, I got Slytherin. If there's something I am less than a Hufflepuff, it is a Slytherin. Again, nothing against Slytherins. One of my closest friends is a Slytherin. She was my best friend through all of high school, and I love her. I am not a Slytherin. So I retook the test a third time, and this time I got Ravenclaw, and suddenly everything was good again in the world. I just wanted to talk a bit about that, about what that all means. Why are we so attached to our houses? Why are we so attached to these sort of arbitrary things that... And why does it matter so much to us that we are still in those original houses? What does it say about us that we're so intense about getting that same house that we always feel we belong in? And especially, why are we so panicked when we're just gonna keep taking the test until we get what we wanted anyway to begin with? I had like an identity crisis for 3 days until I finally just took the test again. And I think a lot of this is partially characterized it's how the houses are characterized in the books. Because the thing is, the house that we get the fullest view of is Gryffindor, 100%. That's what we know the most about. And the problem is that every other house we see throughout the books, we are only seeing it through the lens of a Gryffindor, and not just any Gryffindors. Gryffindors that have been immediately introduced to the fact that the Gryffindor house is the best house, and I think that they really believe this, especially in the beginning. And so the way that we are viewing Hufflepuffs and Ravenclaws, and especially Slytherins, is through this really prejudiced mindset that we don't get a super fantastic reason for. The absolute first thing that we learn in the books about Slytherin is that they are bad, and that you don't want to be in Slytherin, and that they're terrible over there, and that there was not an evil wizard who wasn't from Slytherin. So, book one, we're already biased. And it's a really big issue because Hagrid knows that that's not true. Hagrid knows that bad wizards don't just come from Slytherin. A shining remarkable example in his eyes in the first book would be Sirius Black. Sirius Black was apparently this super, super evil guy who killed his friends, and he's in Azkaban, and he was a Gryffindor. Hagrid, own up to your Gryffindors. And of course, you know, this wasn't true in the end. In the end, it was Peter Pettigrew, but I question Hagrid shaping Harry's mind that way when he knows that Harry's godfather, who he considers a really, really bad guy, is a Gryffindor. Also, the fact that Gellert Grindelwald, he did not go to Hogwarts, so he doesn't have a house. He went to Durmstrang, and we don't really know what the system is there, but he was the second most famous dark wizard of all time, and he clearly wasn't in a Slytherin because he was never sorted. So, Hagrid, questionable there. But Harry never gets a warning that other houses can go bad, or that people from Slytherin can be good. He is not told that there might be other Slytherins who have ended up being, you know, good people. This isn't exactly relevant, you know, in the first book, but later on, Horace Slughorn is proven to be, you know, a pretty good person, and he's a Slytherin. I just want you to picture for a minute, being a little first-year student at Hogwarts. I know, pull yourselves out of that daydream. I know that sounds wonderful, but imagine yourself as a little first-year Hogwarts student, and you are sorted into Slytherin. And you don't know a ton about the houses, but, you know a bit, and you're sorted into Slytherin, and then all of a sudden, 3/4 of the student body of a school you've been dreaming of hate you. But you get through the year anyway, and you get to the end, and you're so happy because your house, your family won the House Cup, and you're so excited because it's your first year. And then everything changes, and Gryffindor wins, suddenly. And you're like, okay, that's fine. But every other house is cheering just because you lost, and you've still done nothing wrong. And this goes on for years. Like, I can't even imagine. That is awful. A lot of the time, people are cheering because the people who bullied you are winning every year, and for really arbitrary reasons that don't make sense because they just keep breaking rules and getting points for it anyway. At that point, wouldn't you want to stick closer to the people who haven't been total dicks to you since you started school? As I said, one of my closest friends is a Slytherin. She is ambitious. She is a perfectionist. She is bold, and she is assertive, and she knows what she wants, and she is a wonderful friend. Slytherins make excellent friends. They are protective of the people they care about to a fault. As soon as you are on the list of a Slytherin who cares about you, consider yourself mega protected. If someone is rude to you, they will fight that person to the death. And yet the only redeeming Slytherin that we really get, like a truly redeeming Slytherin figure, is Regulus Black. And guess who was left out of the movies? And you know, over time we've kind of created our own ideas of what each of these houses are. For a while we didn't have Pottermore to explain in more detail what these houses were. We had to kind of create our own ideas of what Hufflepuffs and Ravenclaws were, based off of what the Sorting Hat sings at the beginning of the year, and we only get a couple of those. The only solid Hufflepuff character we get for a while is Cedric Diggory, and then later on we get Tonks, which, I mean, that shows right there how very different Hufflepuffs can be. Like, stark difference, but that was all we had to base our Hufflepuff ideas on. And in Ravenclaw, we mostly just had Luna and Cho, and again, that's kind of a wide range going on there with Ravenclaws. So a lot of these ideas we had about Ravenclaws were sort of self-created within the fandom, and obviously we have Pottermore now, and we know a lot more about what each of the houses means and kind of what they're all about, but a lot of it is still based in stuff that we came up with on our own. It's like the idea that Hufflepuffs eat a lot. Where did that come from? Where did that come from? It's a silly, silly headcanon, but I see it applied over and over again on Tumblr when describing Hufflepuffs, which I think is so interesting that we have assigned these really specific traits to different houses that are just sort of widely accepted. There was also this thing for a while where Ravenclaws were only smart, like that was their defining characteristic. Smart. But I think that a lot of it got forgotten at the beginning, especially that Ravenclaws are also passionate about stuff that they care about. As soon as they set their mind to something and it like grabs them, they are just so about that thing that has grabbed their attention. They are passionate and invested, and they're really analytical. And Gryffindors, for as good a view as we get of them in the books, they're daring and they're brave, and these are all wonderful qualities. They are headstrong, they can be obnoxious, they rush into things without thinking, and that can be really frustrating to other houses. And Slytherins are not just cunning, rude people, they are protective, and they are smart too. I mean, Draco Malfoy, according to canon, was like the second best in potions after Hermione. Slytherins aren't stupid. They're just focused on other things besides what Ravenclaws are focused on. And just because you were smart does not mean you were in Ravenclaw. Hermione, Snape, Lily. I could go on. And what I really just want to kind of like bring this back around to is the fact that houses, alright, everyone take a seat. Everyone clutch their house scarves to their chests. Scream out your pride. Houses are arbitrary. I know. What am I saying? No, they're not. We are sorted specifically into these houses. We care so much about them. Guys, they're arbitrary. And you know why that's great? Is because you can choose your house. And that is repeated so frequently in the books. At one point, Dumbledore says that he worries that they sort too soon. They are judging small children based on what they think their traits are going to be for the rest of their lives. And he really believes that it leads to more division than it does camaraderie, and you need that connection with other people. And splitting yourself into categories is really unhealthy to do to 12-year-olds, but hey. And most of all, it is true. You choose your house. Harry was very nearly put in Slytherin, but he said he wanted to be a Gryffindor. If Harry Potter has the opportunity to choose his own house, if his son has the opportunity to choose his own house, so do you. Alright guys, what do you think of houses? What do you think of how we kind of imagine houses and all of the different labels that we put on what it means to be a Ravenclaw or a Gryffindor or a Hufflepuff or a Slytherin? What house do you identify with, and what do you think that that means about you? What traits do you give the house that you belong to? And any other general comments down below, I would love to read them. This is just a really interesting topic to me, and when I was doing my most recent Harry Potter reread, I was taking notes, and one of the most frequent things I was taking notes about was the way that the houses were characterized throughout the books, because I just think it's fascinating. So thank you so much for joining me in this first edition of HP Chats. If you guys enjoyed this video, please let me know if you want me to do more. If there are different kinds of discussions that you would like me to do about Harry Potter, I would be more than happy to do them. I could talk about a specific character, a specific element of the Harry Potter world. I'm also really interested in sort of the headcanons and the ideas created about the series. Let me know down below. And thank you guys so much for watching and for going with me on this journey and this long video. I hope that I can edit it down a bit. I will see you in another video very soon. Bye!